Have you ever stared at a to-do list, feeling completely overwhelmed, even by simple tasks? Or perhaps you've struggled to start a project, despite knowing it's important, only to find yourself easily distracted, losing track of time, and feeling an immense sense of frustration. Maybe you've even blamed yourself, thinking you're just lazy or unmotivated. If any of this sounds familiar, you are absolutely not alone. What you might be experiencing is something called executive dysfunction, a complex but common challenge that impacts how we manage our thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's far more than just procrastination or a lack of effort. It's a genuine difficulty rooted in how our brains function. Today, we're going to demystify executive dysfunction. We'll explore what it truly means, break down the core functions involved, look at how it shows up in daily life, understand its common causes, and most importantly, equip you with practical, actionable strategies to navigate these challenges with greater ease and self-compassion. Our goal is to empower you with knowledge, moving away from judgment and towards understanding and effective workarounds. So, let's begin by imagining your brain has a highly skilled CEO, a Chief Executive Officer. This CEO isn't just about big ideas. They're responsible for the day-to-day operations, ensuring everything runs smoothly, from planning meetings to managing resources and keeping the team focused. In your brain, this CEO role is played by what we call executive functions. These are a collection of cognitive processes crucial for goal-oriented behavior and adapting to our ever-changing world. It was Muriel Lezoc, a pioneering neuropsychologist, who really helped formalize our understanding of these functions in modern times, laying the groundwork for what we discuss today. At its heart, there are three foundational components of these executive functions. First, there's working memory. Think of this as your mental scratchpad, the ability to hold and manipulate information in your mind for a short period to get things done. It's how you remember a phone number long enough to dial it, or keep track of recipe steps while you're cooking. Then we have cognitive flexibility, sometimes called fluid or flexible thinking. This is your mental agility, the capacity to shift attention, adapt when plans change, or adjust your behavior in response to new information. It's the ability to pivot gracefully when life throws a curveball, rather than getting stuck. And finally, there's inhibition control. This is your brain's amazing superpower to manage thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's the ability to resist impulses, to hold back a snap reaction, or to focus intently on a task by ignoring tempting distractions. It's what helps you stay on track, even when your phone is buzzing. Building on these core abilities, many higher-level executive functions come into play that are crucial for our complex daily lives. These include planning and prioritizing, organizing our thoughts and belongings, the often dreaded task initiation, that ability to just start something, and time management, which helps us estimate how long things will take and stick to schedules. It also encompasses problem solving, emotional regulation, and self-monitoring, where we evaluate our own performance. When these executive functions aren't working as smoothly as they should, we experience executive dysfunction. This isn't a sign of weakness or a character flaw, it's a neurological reality. People experiencing executive dysfunction often struggle with a range of symptoms. You might find yourself easily distracted, forgetting things frequently, or having a really tough time planning out even simple projects. Starting tasks can feel like pushing a boulder uphill, leading to poor time management, and often a lot of self-blame. There might also be impulsivity, difficulty managing frustrating emotions, or a feeling of being mentally rigid when circumstances change. Verbalizing complex thoughts can even become a challenge.
It's crucial to understand executive dysfunction is not the same as laziness or simply choosing to procrastinate. This is a significant public misconception. When someone experiences executive dysfunction, brain regions responsible for self-motivation, planning, and inhibition are genuinely impaired. They often feel deep distress and frustration because they want to do things but find themselves unable to, not because they don't care. It's also important to clarify that executive dysfunction isn't a standalone medical diagnosis in itself. Instead, it's understood as a symptom or a cluster of symptoms that are associated with other official diagnoses. It typically arises from conditions affecting the brain regions responsible for cognitive and behavioral control, particularly the prefrontal cortex. So, what causes these difficulties? Executive dysfunction is a core characteristic of neurodevelopmental conditions like ADHD and autism spectrum disorder, and it's also seen in learning disorders. It can emerge following neurological conditions such as traumatic brain injuries, strokes, or degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Psychiatric conditions like depression, anxiety disorders, and OCD can also significantly impact executive functions. And let's not forget lifestyle factors. Chronic stress, sleep deprivation, poor nutrition, and even substance misuse can all exacerbate these symptoms, making daily tasks feel even harder. The good news is that while executive dysfunction presents significant challenges, there are many practical workarounds and strategies that can make a real difference. Management usually involves a multifaceted approach, often combining therapeutic support with daily practical adjustments. Let's talk about some strategies. For organization and planning, external aids are your best friends. Think about planners, digital calendars, checklists, and even sticky notes. Breaking down large, daunting tasks into smaller, manageable steps is absolutely key here. When it comes to time management, visual timers can be incredibly helpful, like using the Pomodoro technique, which breaks work into focused intervals. Set specific time limits for different parts of a task, and try to establish consistent daily routines. Predictability can be a powerful tool for an unpredictable brain. For task initiation and motivation, try the just start rule. Commit to doing the first 2 minutes of a task. Often, once you begin, momentum takes over. Gamification, turning tasks into a game with rewards, can also work. And don't underestimate the power of a body double, working alongside someone, even silently, for accountability. To support working memory, get into the habit of writing down important information immediately. Use mnemonic devices, memory aids like acronyms or visual associations, and gentle repetition to reinforce what you need to remember. Emotional regulation is also vital. Practices like mindfulness, deep breathing exercises, and positive self-talk can help manage frustration and mood shifts. Relaxation techniques can create a calmer mental space. And please remember, you don't have to navigate this alone. Seeking support is a sign of strength. Friends, family, coaches, therapists, psychologists, or occupational therapists can all provide invaluable assistance and guidance. Finally, in our digital age, there are fantastic digital tools available. Productivity apps like Google Calendar, dedicated to-do list apps, habit trackers, and focus apps can become powerful allies. Even specialized software like Goblin tools can help you break down overwhelming tasks into bite-sized actions. Acknowledge that implementing these strategies can be difficult, given the nature of executive dysfunction itself, but even small, consistent efforts can build over time.
The journey to better understanding executive dysfunction continues, with ongoing research investigating the exact mechanisms and causes underlying its diverse manifestations. As our knowledge grows, so too will our ability to develop even more targeted and effective diagnostic tools and interventions. So, if you or someone you know struggles with these challenges, remember, there is hope, there are strategies, and there is a path forward. Be patient with yourself, explore what works best for you, and never hesitate to reach out for support. You are capable, and with the right tools, you can absolutely navigate these complexities and thrive.